If there's one thing that I don't think gets talked about enough in Royale, it would have to be the meta. Because rarely do you find a game so convoluted and yet so balanced at the same time, where games which are less than 5 minutes long still feel exhausting because little Timmy decided to hop on his 6th alt account to target you with rapid fires because you're number 62 on the leaderboard.
Drop the drugs! It's okay! I got that.
Okay, but seriously though, you can find use out of literally every item in the game, except Ammo Perk. Everybody hates him. But, I say that, and yet this video is about off-meta picks. So, stuff that's doo-doo. And I'm not just gonna sit here for an hour and talk about drill. So, let's just get on with it, I guess. Single health perk is rather infamous in the community for being bad. But one of the uses for single health perk while I was experimenting with it happened to come up in this footage. Single health perk lets you take an indirect nuke hit from full HP without dying. And if you thought that was specific, single health perk lets you take poison damage about 20% better than without single health perk, which is truly incredible, really. And if you're wondering why you would use single health perk over double health perk, well, you hit these specific health thresholds while also being able to run an extra 2 energy item in your loadout, like a whirlwind or drill, with the added bonus of dealing psychological damage to your opponent, making them wonder why the hell you're using single health perk when it's mostly considered a waste of space, or using it to intimidate guests so badly that they slip up and jump in the water when they see that your health bar is slightly longer than theirs. But hey, I won't sue you for not using an item which would violate Crack Sniffer's correct opinions about the game. So why don't we talk about a perk that almost every professional player would unanimously agree to be the worst thing to ever equip in the game. So I'm actually not level 50 yet, meaning that I can't actually provide any footage of Ammo Perk being used. Let's just pretend that Ammo Perk has gone through a rough divorce and can't make it into my video. Ammo Perk. A perk so unbelievably bad that it would make Andrew Tate cry more than he would at a woman getting Employee of the Month. And even worse than that, Neo leaving his volume bar in the footage of his videos. If you thought that getting level 50 was an achievement, you'd be wrong, because all you get is a dumpster fire of a perk, some extra cash and gems, and bragging rights on the Discord server. It's funny because Ammo Perk is actually bad in a very robust way. So bad that they made Insight, which costs 1 energy, probably the most valuable perk in the game, while Ammo Perk costs 7 energy to use, using up most of your slots. But I think I'm getting off topic here, as I'm supposed to actually be defending these defective perks and items. So I'm gonna be the first ever man on earth to say a good thing about Ammo Perk. For all you guys who can't do math, if you're tired of having to count your missiles, having 1 extra could be very useful for you. And if you're a god gamer like me and can land long shots, having more regular missiles to kill people with is also nice. But in my eyes, using Ammo Perk is more of a I'm not taking this seriously and I hate winning type of thing to do. Kind of like my last sentence, and this entire video. Ammo perk also has the nice trait of giving you more airtime, meaning you have more of an advantage in the late game. You can use it to guarantee wins provided you survive that long, kind of like jetpack, which we'll get to later. Ammo perk also serves as a mid-tier threat to double health people, because you can quadruple shoot them and kill them instantly, removing all 1.4 of their HP. This technically means that you have some of the highest amount of damage in the game, provided that you don't carry, like, anything else. If you somehow manage to hit 4 missiles on one person, the amount of damage that you can inflict is 1.84, which is like almost 2 whole people. That's insane. And there's always the forbidden combo of ammo perk plus auto clicker, the most powerful secret combo in the game.
Hey, Eric, look at me.
Alright, but if you don't want to use a perk that requires hacking to become halfway decent, you can literally use an item that can actually do the same thing as ammo perk's only silver lining for 5 less energy. But my voice is getting a little tired right now, so I'm gonna let my buddy Chinaballs handle this one.
What's up gamers, RBR Lore Master here, back to talk about my number one favorite weapon, the jetpack. You know, ever since jetpack's been nerfed all the way back in the day, no one's really used it. I mean, it makes sense why, considering it's in this off-meta picks video. Anyway, I think, as the number one jetpack user in the state, that jetpack still has a lot of use, for off-meta pick reasons. Anyway, let's get into it. So first of all, jetpack can actually fully counter a whirlwind. If you jetpack through a whirlwind at its strongest point, either down or sideways, or I think you can do it up too, but just never use a jetpack up. You can actually get past the whirlwind completely without ever being blown back. This is pretty useful, especially if you're prone to getting trapped or on a map where you get trapped a lot with like whirlwind poisons, or if you're being targeted, you can completely bypass whirlwinds and just get to escape. This comes up that often, but if you are getting targeted often by whirl spammers, this is pretty helpful. Another way this works is if you're defending high ground. Because when you're on high ground, usually there's not that much left. You got 1 pixel, 1 little area left, and you want to defend some guy coming up trying to attack you. You're not going to shoot down all their missiles to defend your high ground like Prometheum. You got to find something else. And if you only have a jetpack on you and you see a crate to the left of you, you can't just jump off your high ground to grab the crate and come back, because you destroy it all. That's where jetpack comes in. Because with jetpack, you can get off platforms, you can get off the ground without actually destroying it. So you can jetpack off your platform, exchanging it for a potentially better item from the crate. Or just get a homing missile. That's why it's off meta. That's really all the main uses for when you pick jetpack, but there are some other ones. Another way is in combat or in battle. If you're against someone, you can use jetpack to suddenly change your direction or to dodge missiles mid-air. Just number one thing, never ever use jetpack upwards if you're trying to jump or if you're trying to avoid the water. Always use it sideways or at an angle, because that lets you stay in the air longest, and make sure you don't waste the jetpack for no reason. Just please stop. Makes no sense. Goodbye now. Back to you, Neo.
So he told you basically about all that really needed to be said. Jetpack can be used in very versatile ways, and is probably the best item we've talked about so far. So for this final section, I'm going to go through some honorable mentions. Stuff that isn't exactly as off-meta as some of the stuff we've covered in this video. Something that maybe a mid-20 level account might actually be running in their inventory. You can expect it, but not as often as some of the basics. If there's anything that you can tell by this current loadout, there's a bunch of items that are strictly off-meta, but see some occasional use, even in the wild. The lack of insight in this loadout will mean, though, that I'll never be able to win in these recorded videos. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about laser first, especially because I blow it on literally the first few seconds of the match, so it's better for me to talk about it now. Laser is the most recent weapon added to the game, and it's certainly unique. It relies on a pretty advanced mechanic to be useful, and most of the time you're gonna land the indirect hit, which deals only 0.4 damage. Laser is actually a fringe pick against Whirlwind, as it actually goes completely through it. Whirlwind is one of the best items in the game right now. So it's good to counter something that you'll see so often. Laser's direct hitbox also deals 0.8 damage, and it's pretty hard to dodge in the air, which is a nice bonus. I don't see Laser as particularly bad, but not a lot of people have been running it, so I thought I'd just mention it here. The next thing I'm going to talk about is Flak, which is basically rapid fire but with mental health issues. Flak actually used to be considered the best item in the game, but then it got nerfed, and now it's pretty mid. It's a pretty good way to finish off low HP targets, and to also block missiles. Flak is honestly pretty great to pick up during the game, but there are plenty of other things that you need to be running in your loadout to succeed. But anyway, time to talk about Grenade, which is basically Flak but with mental health issues. This one got nerfed pretty hard, and now I almost never see it. Most of the time when you try to throw this out, none of the projectiles hit at all, which is not what you want to be putting in your loadout. However, grenades have a few things that set it apart from its competition. They're a good distraction and can force players to move somewhere if you want them to. You can also use them to dunk tank people below you, funnily enough, because the grenades take people down with them. And of course, if you get a successful trap, then throwing them into the place that they're in will also probably guarantee the kill, provided they aren't like super good at the game. Perhaps give these items a try. They aren't the worst thing in the world, and you can probably find some use on them somewhere. So that's about it really. Those are all the off-meta picks that I can think of at the moment. But with the new season right around the corner, there might be some meta shifts due to the new ranked system. Feel free to give suggestions in the comments, or tell me that I'm wrong, but please don't be rude about it. Please. Oh yeah, and by the way, Drill is at the top of the meta chart, so I don't want to hear anything about it in the comments. Thanks. Anyway, thank you for watching, and like and subscribe for some more videos like this. I actually really enjoyed making this one, as you can tell by the effort actually put in. Well, see you around.